Unfortunately, what Trump has done here is reveal how weak we are. And the fact that he is in full support of the dollar, which means he's in full support of the Federal Reserve. I mean, this should not be a surprise to anyone. I know a lot of people have been duped, lied to, saying that Trump, that somehow, we heard the same nonsense last time, was going to get rid of the Federal Reserve, and all that did happen was the Fed was vaulted to the pinnacle of power. The Federal Reserve clearly has an ally in the White House behind the resolute. That's something I warned would happen. I said before the selection, no matter who was selected, I said we were going to know who the real traitor was, and that would be a person who would be in the pocket of the Federal Reserve. And clearly that is what we have here, unfortunately, and the world is laughing. We cannot force the world to participate in the Federal Reserve scheme. All it does, obviously, is by, threatening the world, hey, you better use the dollar here, is obviously supporting the central bank system, the Federal Reserve in this case here. We are being bridged into a new system. It's pretty obvious. This new crypto capital thing is only a bridge system into the new system, which is coming, unfortunately. And the Federal Reserve is going to control that as well. We realize here that the central banking system, and in this case, the Fed, is going to be made much stronger moving forward. We got to take the opposite side of that trade here, man. First of all, we need to be in this market. I know a lot of people still calling for market crashes. It's not going to happen. We're going to see artificially suppressed rates for as far as the eye can see. We're going to see more currency devaluation on an epic scale globally, not just here in the United States, as central banks continue to fulfill their goal to issue in a new system. And I really believe that's why Trump was selected, to bridge the system into the new tokenized system, the crypto capital of the world, not the constitutional money capital of the world, forcing the world. Imagine if you are the leader of a nation, you're told you better use Federal Reserve notes or else. I mean, you got to be kidding me, man. If that doesn't reveal a weak hand. Look, I was a poker player for many years. I played semi-professional for years, and I know a weak hand when I see one. And threats always come from a position of weakness. It's not a position of strength. You know this, and I think anyone that understands economics and finance knows that there are really only two fundamental truths in economics and finance, and that comes down to have a strong economy, you have to have a strong currency. To have a strong currency, you have to have a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. So what we have here, again, is collectively central banks in a race to the bottom to destroy the currency by lowering rates. Trump is a proponent of negative rates. This is what he said during his last tenure, calling the Fed boneheads for not going negative. I mean, what this is an economic wrecking ball. When you have any central bank looking to artificially suppress rates, having a politician calling for negative rates or lower rates here, it's a mechanism to destroy the economy and push the stock market higher. The gap between the economy and the markets has never been as great as it is right now. And we're going to see this go on more so until it ends. And the moment of ending here, we do not have to guess. Again, we've taken a lot of guesswork out of here by just watching the debt market, which is all I look at. I've been telling people this for 10 years. I don't care what the stock market does. I know what it's going to do based on what's happening in the debt market. If we see rates artificially suppressed as they are now, again, we're supposed to be in this strong economic situation. Then why do we need lower rates? I mean, we need higher rates. To fix the situation, we need the polar opposite of what we're being sold, that we need artificially suppressed rates and therefore a weaker currency. Go back again, just 20, 30 years ago when we had a much stronger currency, much higher rates. One income could support a family here, a nice car, and a family dressed in nice clothes. Today, people can't get by. We just found out today, home affordability just hit a new record low. This is the mechanism, but people have no idea of what's happening to them. And this is a crime, in my view. We need real leadership. We need someone to say, listen, guys and girls, we don't need this. What central banks are doing, and now we have a president right in bed with the Fed who wants lower rates here. Wait till people see what's going to happen here. Our economy is going to free fall faster. Trump is going to come out and say, you're not cutting rates fast enough. Mark my words. I want people to save this video because they're going to hear it. They're going to hear that come out of his mouth. The Fed's not cutting rate fast enough. That's why the economy is falling, which it's all leading to destruction. And what people are going to believe, some of the people that just have no clue, is, oh, Trump is right. We need lower rates. What you won't hear out of his mouth is lower rates means loss of purchasing power. We're going to see debts and deficits bloom more so than we have now. And that's going to be made worse for people forced suffering with regard to the cost of things. If they think inflation is bad now, wait till they see where this is going here with Trump's tariffs, which are coming, with currency devaluation from the Federal Reserve, they're going to really not know what to do with themselves. And you're going to hear this. Every imaginable excuse why Trump's policies aren't working. They can't see it for themselves. The dumbing down of society, bro. This market is so detached from any kind of reality. Again, the multiples that the market is trading on, we've never seen before. And that doesn't mean it's going to stop. Even just this morning, I got questions about this. Hey, Greg, what's happening to commodities? Why are gold and silver underperforming? It's too simple to understand. Cash does move through these markets in predictable patterns. The environment being risk on here, the corporate agenda, the cutting of corporate taxes here, the pushing up of wealth to the 1% and 2%, this is going to accelerate moving forward over the next few years here. And that wealth is stolen. It's grand theft from the people down here getting shoved right up to the 1% and 2%. They're the ones that own most of the market. They're the ones that own most of the crypto space. Again, this is opportunity in understanding that commodities, because they are real things. Higher the market goes, the stock market goes, the more on sale commodities are going to be relative to other things. So again, for anyone is having a fantasy that they're all of a sudden going to see global debt start to contract in any way, or currency devaluation on the back of that, is completely duped into something that just isn't true. The mechanism is going to be much greater moving forward until it is we're being pushed off of a financial and economic cliff. And unfortunately, this is going to end up very badly for most people. But people can get themselves in the right spot of this. Yes, I am still long this market, buying the market. Yes, I still believe the stock market is going much higher, despite the fact that it has no bearing on reality. But what would you expect to see in this kind of an environment? We don't even get drops in this market or corrections or anything else anymore. Just up, 52 record highs for the S&P 500. So far this year, that's basically one per week, more so than that. And I believe we're probably going to get more records before this month too. We hold commodities, not because we're expecting to go up tomorrow, as a hedge against a warped system. The system is warped. I don't know another way to put it. It's just not connected to anything real, and commodities are real. It's all in fantasy land here. It's not on the elemental chart, but this is going to turn. Eventually, a debt market meltdown is going to occur at a time of their choosing, not at a time of ours. And by watching action in the debt market, looking at the benchmark, the U.S. 10-year yield, we can gain a lot of information here. I intend to keep myself long the stock market, buying cryptocurrencies, adding to my positions here with regard to commodities, which I haven't in a long time. I built on my position in commodities it was the first thing I ever did. So with regard to commodities, I think people right now is a golden opportunity. No pun intended, but it's really the truth. So just realize what's going on. And then there's no fear here. You can't be paralyzed. You have to take action. And it's too simple, in my opinion right now, for people to make the system work for them and not against them. The only thing I look for here, and it's going to happen, is going to be an uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market. We got quite a sell-off in the debt market as of late. We had the 10-year yield almost par with the federal funds rate, which was something I was looking for. I kept talking about it. I kept saying that if we get par, 10-year yield, federal funds rate, the market's not going to like it. We almost got there. Then a miracle happened. All of a sudden, it starts dropping, man. You can't make that up. We get almost par, almost, and then all of a sudden, down. No, obviously there's intervention here. We know who's intervening here. It's quite obvious. No investor is going to be buying debt in this environment where the market keeps doing nothing but go higher. Looking at even crypto space here as well. If Trump would have said, let's become the constitutional money capital world, you know what would be happening to the price action of gold and silver right now? They'd be taking off. But what would that do? That would have put a lot of pressure on the stock market. And that's not what Trump is all about. This administration that we have, and I want people to get their head around this, okay? I'm not bad-mouthing anyone. I just want people to understand the dynamics that are in play. This is the most stock market positive administration that has ever been put together, I think, in the history of the United States. And that means, again, just like last time, look at that stock market. It was a big, fat, ugly bubble before he took office. Remember that? Then it wasn't a bubble anymore. Then he wanted it to go up and up and up and up. And he actually said, we're all rich. Not referring to you and me. He was referring to the 1% and 2% that own the market. And it's going to be the same dynamic in play now. What we're going to end up seeing is an uncontrolled sell-off. And I mean, not just a sell-off like we had. We're going to see 20, 30, 40. I wouldn't be surprised to see 50 basis point spikes in the 10-year yield on a daily basis when the moment actually comes here. But again, once the Fed, in this case, stops manipulating the debt market, we're obviously in full-blown yield curve control. The Fed has been involved in QE since June of this year, right under everyone's nose. It wasn't announced, but it's what happened. They also got involved here with yield curve control, and the market's loving it. And that's why you're seeing what we're seeing here right now. It's a message. The Fed sends subtle messages to the market. We got your back. Stay long the market. And that's what they're doing here. And people who can decipher the code, if you want to call it that, have obviously done very, very well. Again, we're in a really bad spot here. The world economy is disaster area, and you got central banks inflating the global debt. It's not going to stop. Currency devaluation. It's a vicious cycle. The more that they devalue the currency, the more currency they need, because now it takes more currency to buy anything. So it fulfills their agenda to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. This is what the Fed wants. What every central bank wants to do is to have absolute control over the debt market, which is the key, yet again. And it seems like they're pretty much there already. So we're in a liquidity crisis right now. And the only way to keep the charade going is to keep pumping more debt into the system. That's why Trump wants people to stay in the dollar. The dollar is a unit of debt. It's not a unit of wealth. Accept more of the Federal Reserve's debt coupons, because that's all they are, which of course makes the Fed stronger, not weaker. And the world is laughing. The world doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. That's why the BRICS alliance was made, or is now being built on the back of this world dollar de-dollarization. I mean, this has been going on for quite a long time.